human from another galaxy. A pathfinder.
I don't need an army. I've got a Krogan.
Go right, it'll be fun.
This is exactly why we came.
Cover's one, run!
They want to fight? We'll give it to them.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect Andromeda. We're just sitting here creepily looking at Lexi's back. Nothing weird about that.
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods.
She said she's going to do that.
You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
So I like met her last time, but we had to leave before I really got to talk to her, so... I do miss our old doctor though, I've got to say.
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands.
Oh, I misread that as stealthy.
They earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
Aw. Now, obviously, there's no way we can have our normal doctor here. It would make no bloody sense, but I still miss her. So, why'd you join?
So, how did a sorry doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
Harry's my dad, but what did he switch jobs to? Why are my eyebrows not this...
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality. Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files and my brain by species.
Yeah, it's interesting that...
Why do you sort them that way?
Just easier for me to see patterns in behavior.
Well, we'll start with the human crew, because there's more of them.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
I was going to say...
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor.
And she still sees me as
She
a
expected to
violation.
follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you. Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused or hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've, like, picked up from her so far.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new.
Well, he's trying to live up to being a
Liam's
Neeson.
can't lose attitude is commendable, but I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
All right.
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique.
I do too.
He'd rather bury himself in the Nomad than tackle emotions head-on.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot to be said for people that try and keep the situation light, even when it doesn't necessarily warrant it.
Suvi okay?
She's remarkably adaptive. I'm kind of jealous.
Well, that's the shortest answer I've ever gotten.
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Wow, I didn't realize we had this many. I'm saving PB for last.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people.
Interesting.
That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
All my time is me time.
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
Again, what is it about this location that makes her barely want to talk about it? Maybe she just has a phobia of rightness. Is that that's leftness? That's my left. It's her. I don't know.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative.
Oh, interesting.
Could you look out for him, Ryder?
He doesn't need me.
Drac can take care of himself.
You'd think so.
I do think so.
Is PB all right?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Not in the hallway.
Thanks for the insight. I need to talk to you about something private.
Ooh.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory, things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Or both.
I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel, from when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
I remember
Why do you
that.
think your father chose this specific memory?
Yeah, it was the turning point.
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
And a new game.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this.
Really? That's what you want to talk to him about? Or that's what he wanted to talk to her about?
How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments.
Well, how would that affect
His
anything?
name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
It's actually interesting. I wrote a novel when I was in high school. It wasn't a very good novel. Wait, really? A facial reconstruction suite? I've actually been complaining about his face long enough that I may actually take advantage of this. All right. Wow, I wonder why we came back here. I ended up... Unfortunately, all I could actually really do... Because the character creator in this game is not all the best, but I could at least, like, tone down the blondness of his hair a little bit, because holy crap.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that.
I forgot about her
incredible,
accent.
Isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to pick a side thing. Pick an idea there.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I'm a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
I do have to feel like he's going to be... I mean... Does he or not? Because he came out here in order to find this new world and this new... like, colonize a new area. I'd feel like he would...
There's nothing about the universe that suggests a divine intelligence. And most of what we've seen in Helios is artificial, as you said yourself.
Yes, but we're creative beings. Whoever made the Remnant was too. Why should that be proof against a god? Wouldn't a true creator want to pass on the drive to invent?
I do feel like you can have Christian scientists. That's not a... But I do think science is naturally at odds with divinity, because the whole idea of divinity is to believe without reason. Like, as soon as you want to use your brain to explain things, then it's no longer belief.
If everything was set in place by some mysterious creator, why even be a scientist?
If I have reverence for a creator, how could I not want to study their creation?
I do like this discussion.
My faith does not hinder my work as a scientist. It encourages it. My senses tell me what the world is. Science shows me how it came to be. And religion tells me why.
Yeah, don't be a dick about it. I do have to say, one of the most interesting things I ever saw, this was actually on, I think it was Religulous by Bill Maher, but he actually talked to a Vatican scientist, and, you know, he asked the Vatican scientist, he's like, so just, I've got to ask, a Vatican science, like, what's the story there? And the scientist was cool about it. He was like, you know, and he's like, I don't actually see a contradiction at all. Most, you know, just about everything in Christianity comes from, you know, before 600 AD, and everything in modern science comes out of 1600 AD. You know, after everything before the Renaissance can basically be completely discounted in terms of science. So why should I feel like the two of them are at odds? They're from completely different eras of history. I can believe something and not think that it has to involve science, because science is a completely different expectation.
I apologize if I offended you. I can be insensitive.
You're fine. Being challenged forces me to dig deep in my beliefs. It's healthy. Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
Well, that's a little bit backhanded. Now I've got to get to work. We'll talk later.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Parties! No, I feel like that would not be a response that she would get into.
With what it has to do, it could go thousands of miles below the surface of the planet.
Or completely span it. An underground network. Just a thought, of course. I wouldn't even know where to start hypothesizing how it all works.
Well, you
The
get an
remnant
idea.
builders, whoever, whatever they were, accomplished something far beyond us.
I don't want to immediately start talking about our faith again. That seems rude.
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet.
Which is really
Climate,
interesting.
pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life.
Wow.
If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
So whoever designed this didn't want us dickering around.
I take it you work closely with the Nexus Science team?
I try to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
I was going to definitely say more brains work better than one is not always true, actually.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The initiative obtained data from an array in deep space. A Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
Interesting.
It operated like a telescope, just faster than light. It provided much more up-to-date info. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
That is hard info to... I don't want him to constantly just be like, I'm going to talk about that all the time.
How did the Initiative even get its hands on Geth knowledge? They're isolationist and hostile.
I don't know, Ryder. Maybe I don't want to know.
I mean, what kind of scientist are you if you don't want to know?
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager...
Wait, this was how you acted out?
Let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist?
Convinced me even more. Especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again. They were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor. Not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
Well, I do like her idea of God quite a bit.
Sounds good.
You know, instead of the somewhat traditional God of, I'm going to watch over you and spank you if you don't do stuff. Okay. A freelance vidmaker. Really use your help with my latest project. This will be historic, I hope, just like your mission. When we meet in the Nexus for a chat, I can explain better in person. Dear Pathfinder Rider, my other Dash was my best friend. So it pains me he's gone. Okay, what? Are these in response to anything? Thanks for talking. Things feel better. They don't feel fixed yet. I'm gonna take some time for yourself too. Work's important, but so is time to grieve. Grief and fear cannot rule you. Let them be your faithful servants, protective of their mistress. Loss serves as a huntress, like fuel serves fire. Can still smell that remnant vault in my armor. Oh, this is also from Cora. Lots of weird shit down there. Like my country manuals would say, the razor's edge between known and unknown teaches you what must be cut away. Now, I think back, it reminded me of some of the temples on Thessia. Same huge spaces and running water. Same sense of a huge purpose you can't really understand. There's a lot of emails here. Hello, Ryder. Please report the Tempest operating at peak efficiency. So now that you're in command, I thought I'd share a few secret shipboard house designers and I sneak into the code. Just send the code JCSB through your Omni tool to open the debug command menu. Wow. Dear writer, I'm grateful for our talk earlier. Even if we end up disagreeing, debate can be invigorating. Veteran told me what happened to your dad. I've lost a lot of people over the years. Figured you could use some cheering up, or at least a distraction. This usually helps me. Here's some guns. Attached is a Krogan thesis I mentioned to you. I know, only 500 pages, but I wasn't allowed to go over. If you get through it, I just wrote a longer dissertation for the Citadel Journal of Medicine, around 1,400 pages. It's much more insightful and includes mating diagrams. Oh, God! Ryder, given the amount of high-impact cardio in your exercise routine, I recommend spending 5 to 10 minutes a day stretching your hips to relieve tightness in the lower back. Poses I've listed below should work nicely. Not sound elitist, but whilst trick humans invented yoga, the Asari perfected it. Coda's bow. Lol. I'm not doing the matriarch's pose. Hey, Ryder. Hope it's okay to keep the data in my room, i.e. the escape pod. I guess I really have to ponder things before bed. Best ideas come to me when I'm half asleep. Also, I saw it first. Anyway, we know for sure there's some sort of data. The trick is how to get it. Ryder, I've completed my analysis of injuries you suffered at Habitat 7 during the fall. Well, during both falls. I think the facial damage occurred while your helmet shattered. Those hairline subsurface fractures are mending nicely. If you want to monitor the healing process, there's a... Yep. I already found that. Hello, Kahlo. Were these guys here before? I totally missed them.
You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
Yeah, you designed it?
You mentioned something about helping design the Tempest?
Test pilot, mostly. Plunging through the Nemean abyss was almost a preparation for the Scourge. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
I certainly understand that, although if something went wrong and he's the only one from the team, man, he would be, have an egg on his face.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still...
I was going to say, nothing of what you described is photographic.
With the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Yeah, speaking of which...
Did you hear anything about the Ark back in the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Yeah, we'll find them.
Don't sweat it. We'll bring the Solarians home.
Of course we will. I just have to be patient, that's all. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
Oh, I certainly will.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, tell me some wonderful stories.
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the
I
other
love
Pathfinder
Solarians.
vessels were
They
lost
may be my
to
favorite
Scourge
race.
and Nexus.
Other than
The Tempest is
Krogan.
truly unique.
And all the other ones. Well, not all the other ones, but a lot of the other ones. Why is this still not grayed out?
Tell me something else about the ship.
Her engine's based on the Ark's Odyssey drive, which got us through dark space. The core takes the static electricity it generates and stores it in capacitors. We basically make our own power supply. It took Serena and Tion weeks to get it working on a smaller ship. And a few electrical shocks.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Our aerospace engineer was Tianada Vasmore, a Quarian fellow. And
Oh yeah, the Quarian too, I love them.
Fearless. Once, some Omega scrap dealer pulled the "we don't sell to Quarians" nonsense. Tion found A workaround.
What did he do?
Put on a mask.
He glued a memory foam to his environmental suit. Then, during the negotiations, leaned against the drive core he wanted, very casual. It made a perfect mold of the components, and the scrap dealer was none the wiser.
Tell me something else about the ship.
The glass on board? It's actually a clear oxide and nanofiber compound. It bends rather than shattering.
How tough is it? We're only an arm's length away from hard vacuum.
Our testing involved 3 drunk Krogan with sledgehammers and a C-Sec battering ram. It's sturdy.
That is the best test you can have.
Tell me something else about the ship.
O'Connell, our systems designer, was running a power distribution model, how power moves through the ship. But he forgot to lock his terminal, and we, added a few embellishments. For 2 days, poor O'Connell was convinced that turning on all the bathroom lights would overload the engine core.
Tell me something else about the ship.
I'm all out of stories for now. Sorry. You'll have to make some new ones.
Okay.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask. We're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists.
Those are not mutually exclusive, you
We have
know.
to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
That's actually really, because I'm actually not that far from 40. I'm decently far, but not that far.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
You just answered.
No, I'm not falling for that again.
Wait, you've actually fallen for that?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it. Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
Of course it doesn't.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Liam's quite fun. Not many humans have that kind of energy. I probably shouldn't have told him there are secret compartments in the armory, though. He's been looking all day.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Dr. Tapero seems nice, if quiet. It must be very different here, compared to the Hyperion. Fewer people in stasis shock.
Well, as in none?
Let's keep it that way. What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Given Drax's history with Solarians, it's probably better I just stay out of his way. Too bad. That grunion roast he makes smells delicious.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I like PB. But I really hope she doesn't lean on the escape pod's manual release by accident.
Is that easy to do?
It's an escape pod. If it's difficult to use, you're doing it wrong.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Oh, okay. I kind of forgot about Callow. Callow is one of my favorite crew members right now. I mean, obviously he's Callow. There's nothing astounding about him, but he's got a really good, just down-to-earth sense of humor. I like him.
We haven't really spoken since orientation, have we?
It's all been so hectic, but I'm sure things will quiet down soon. Can't be worse than the Nexus.
Okay, so I think I found it.
Ryder, when you've got a minute, stop by the med bay.
Really? I've already been by the med bay. I need to find PB, but yeah, I guess I will stop by the med bay if I can find the bloody place. I think I have to go down the ladders to get to it. So there's the bathroom. Nobody's in here. What you want?
Need something?
You just asked me to come by.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Lexi, you're insane. Like, you literally just asked me to come by the med bay, and then I came, and you're like, what's up? What can I do you for? And I'm like,
Pathfinder rider to engineering. Repeat, rider to engineering. Shit, is this thing on?
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little? Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
Now's as good a time as any.
No. I know that I can be of use here.
What kind of
I
use?
know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best.
That doesn't explain why you
You've
came.
been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
Like, this is actually a possibility, but I don't know her well enough, because that's the thing. If I just select one of these, like, will that just push me down the? Or I'm sure it won't. You know what? You don't report to me.
Wow, that's some laser focus.
Yeah? Was it too much? Some people get intimidated.
We need that sort of drive. I just hope I can keep up.
You'll keep up. And I promise I won't tell if you don't. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know.
I actually don't know. That's why you're here. If I knew, I wouldn't need
Chat
you.
later?
Later is now.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving. And everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone. Ugh.
I've been really lucky that every time I move, my
just saying.
company does it for me.
I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
All right, let's find out about
The
you.
Andromeda initiative.
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually, I figured out something was going on. Something big with creds behind it. I asked, and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
Why? What was wrong with your old home?
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
Yeah, how do you have back
We
channels
bought a lot
here?
From home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
Yeah, that sounds entirely too
It
easy.
can't be that simple.
Oh, but it is. Most things are simple once you know the trick to them.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
That's what's called adventure.
Some days I wondered if the Exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the Initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. Now, if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
So I'm not going to ask that because again, I don't see a lot of connection between them.
Probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
All right. So where the hell is the escape hatch? So I've consistently not found this whole time.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Right. What?
Never mind. BS for the requisition. So, finally time for that beer?
Absolutely.
And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
What was Hustle?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy Urban Search Terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch.
That is very true.
All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded.
Bearded? You're using all kinds of weird acronyms that I just don't know.
Just thinking about those days.
I wish I knew what he did back then.
I wanted adventure and mystery at the edge of known space. There was so much to see. Seems like a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
Again, he actually does work for me, so there's no way we're going down that road.
I hoped my Alliance career would lead to adventure, exploring, hunting dangers in the dark. Didn't happen. Couldn't. But here, everything's new, and I want to see it all.
Ah, I don't hear idealist a lot. Everyone's cynical.
Back at you, Costa. Why'd you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story.
I like this guy. I do have to say the characterization in this game is amazing.
I had family, friends, a good enough job. Nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
We're not changing direction.
If it all goes wrong, it could feel like we left for no reason.
I know why I'm here. A bad start can't change that. I won't let it. In crisis response, I'd focus on essentials. That's you and this team. Pathfinder leads to planets, leads to people. You've got your part covered. You've got this. I'll do my damnedest to help with the rest.
I expect you to. All right. So I do think even with us cutting out the facial reconstruction, we have probably gone ahead and gone about 30 minutes. I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm like, where the hell is PB? I do not know where this stupid escape hatch is. So I could cheat and just look at this. Cargo bay. There's Lexi, Drac, and Sam. There's my terminal. There's the crew quarters. Gil, Cora. There's the... Well, so I walked right past her. I didn't realize she was right there. Okay. So now I know next time we will have a nice heart-to-heart with PB, and then we will finally make our way back to the Nexus, which is kind of our objective, but you know what? I've been busy. What can I say? Gotta spend time talking to everybody. That's what you do in games like this. Don't give me that look. Look at you guys in a second. See you then, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Well, I'm like moving straight towards the Nexus. All right, there's the door. What is this? Oh, okay, that's the galaxy map. That's why it's having me go there. Not doing it yet, though. See you next time.